We grow up thinking letting go means you failed, you gave up, you quit, you lost something, but that's not the truth. That's just the mind talking. The ego doesn't like letting go, because the ego survives on control, on attachment, on identity, and so it tells you if you let go, you'll fall apart, you'll be nothing, you'll lose everything. But look deeper. What are you really holding on to? A relationship that ended long ago, an opinion that drains your peace, a grudge that rots in the background every time their name comes up. You're not holding those things, they're holding you, keeping you bound, keeping you small, keeping you in a version of yourself that no longer fits. Letting go isn't about throwing things away. It's about putting down what's not yours to carry. It's about saying, this pain happened, but I don't have to keep reliving it. This belief was handed to me, but it doesn't serve me anymore. This control I keep reaching for, it's not bringing me peace. It's choking my spirit. So you release. Not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to know peace costs less than pride. Freedom weighs less than fear. It takes courage to let go, not the kind of courage that fights, but the kind that stops fighting, the kind that says, I surrender this, not out of defeat, but out of wisdom. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's quiet, like choosing not to reply, choosing not to prove your point, choosing not to dwell for the 1,000th time on something that's already done. And when you let go, really let go, something shifts. A burden lifts. You can breathe deeper. You notice the silence behind the noise. You feel space where there was once tightness. This is not loss. This is lightness. This is not weakness. This is power. Real letting go doesn't leave you empty. It leaves you open to what's real, open to what's alive right now, open to who you truly are beneath the tension and trying. Holding on feels natural at first. It feels like safety, like you're in control, like you're managing the chaos by tightening your grip. But that grip, it costs you. You wake up already bracing, already preparing for what might go wrong, trying to hold it all together. Your image, your schedule, your relationships, your identity, and the body feels it. The tension in the shoulders, the tightness in the jaw, the shallow breath, that's the weight of control. That's the fatigue of trying to carry what you were never meant to hold. We think if we let go, it'll all fall apart. But what's really falling apart is you, from the strain of keeping everything under control. You don't realize it until you stop, until you breathe, until you let just one thread go and feel the relief ripple through your being. Letting go doesn't mean being careless. It means trusting that life doesn't need to be micromanaged, trusting that your worth isn't tied to performance, trusting that silence knows more than your plans. It's a quiet grace, not loud, not flashy, just real. Like when you stop explaining yourself, like when you don't chase the last word, like when you allow something to end without forcing it to stay pretty. There's effort in holding, there's ease in releasing, and in that ease you find something rare, presence. The kind that doesn't need to fix anything, the kind that sees without judging, that watches the storm and remains unmoved. The mind resists this because the mind thinks letting go is weakness, but grace doesn't operate through fear. It's the opposite. Grace enters when fear is quiet, when the clenched fists open, when the story you've been defending gets dropped even for a moment. And in that space, something deeper begins to move, something unforced, something clean, a softness that has no agenda but heals everything it touches. You don't have to figure everything out. You don't have to fix every person, every moment, every feeling. Sometimes all that's being asked is, can you stop holding on so tightly? Can you trust that life is wiser than your fear? Can you allow grace to carry what your hands no longer need to bear? The most powerful illusion is not the world outside. It's the image you hold of yourself. The one that says, I am this, I'm that, I don't do this, I always do that, this is just who I am. It sounds harmless. But it's a cage, a soft, subtle prison made out of ideas, past experiences, and other people's expectations. And you've lived in it for so long, you forgot it's not the real you. From childhood, you've been collecting labels. Good kid, lazy, strong one, disappointment, leader, failure, and without realizing it, you started building a personality based on these echoes. A mask, a role, something that looks like you, sounds like you, even feels familiar, but it isn't the whole truth. So when you sit in silence, when you begin to really see yourself, not through thought, but through still awareness, you start noticing the cracks in that identity. You start seeing how much of what you believed about yourself came from pain, came from protection, came from trying to be loved, accepted, safe. And here's the turning point. That false self, the one that gets offended, the one that needs to prove something, the one that never feels quite enough, that's what must be released. Not because it's bad, but because it's not you. It's heavy, it's anxious, it's built on effort and story and survival. The real you isn't trying to be anything, isn't playing a role, it just is, still, aware, untouched. Letting go of who you think you are isn't easy. It's not about erasing your personality or denying your past. It's about not clinging to it. It's about recognizing you are not the voice in your head. You are the one who hears it. You are not the character moving through life. You are the silent presence behind the movement, and the more you rest in that space, the more free you become. You stop defending the mask. You stop maintaining the image. You let go of the need to be someone. And in that letting go, you discover something deeper. A self that is unshaken. A self that is not in conflict. A self that doesn't need fixing or defining. It's just here, spacious, alive, unbound. There's a fear that hides in the background of the mind. If I let go, I might lose everything. So we cling. We hold tight to people, to titles, to relationships, to routines, even when they hurt, even when they weigh us down. Because the mind whispers, what if you never find something like this again? What if you need this to feel whole? But look closely. Anything that needs your grip to survive isn't stable. Anything that demands constant control to remain isn't truth. It's dependency. And anything that's truly real, truly aligned, truly alive, it doesn't need to be forced. It doesn't disappear when you release your grip. It stays, it deepens, it breathes. Letting go is not about loss. It's about clarity. It's a way of separating what is real from what is imagined. What is flowing from what is forced. It's how you stop feeding illusions, because illusions need your attention to survive. They need your fear, your attachment, your identity, but truth doesn't need your effort. Truth stands on its own. When you let go, what dissolves is not your essence, it's the dust that was covering it. The false story fades, the clinging weakens, and what remains is raw, still, unmovable. Some people might walk away when you stop trying to please. Let them. Some situations might collapse when you stop forcing them to fit. Let them. What's meant for you will never require you to betray your peace to keep it. What's true doesn't need tension to exist. It's like a tree in a storm. The weak branches break, the dead ones fall. But the roots, they don't move. They hold, they stay. That's how you know what's real. You've been taught that letting go is giving up. But it's not, it's trust. It's knowing that you don't need to control everything to be okay. You don't need to hold every piece in place to feel safe. The ones who are meant to walk with you will walk without force. The paths meant to open will open without pushing. And the peace you've been chasing will meet you, not when you finally arrange everything perfectly, but when you finally surrender the idea that you have to. You don't just let go once and walk away free forever. It's not a single moment of breakthrough followed by a lifetime of peace. Letting go is not an event, it's a rhythm. It's a posture of the heart. It's how you walk through the world without being tangled by it. Life doesn't stop handing you things to hold. New attachments, new fears, new expectations. They show up. They sneak in, wrapped in opportunity, dressed as love, masked as responsibility. You pick them up without even realizing it. And suddenly, you're tense again, tired again, trying again. That's why letting go has to become a way of being. Not something you do when things fall apart, but something you live, even when things seem fine, even when no one's watching. Even when the surface looks peaceful, but the inside feels crowded. It's in the small moments, when someone misunderstands you and you don't chase validation. When the plan shifts and you don't spiral. When the future looks uncertain and you stay open. That's what living the practice looks like. It's not dramatic, it's quiet. It's in how you sit with your breath, in how you allow people to come and go without gripping their presence, in how you watch your thoughts pass without jumping on everyone. Letting go is not about detachment in a cold sense. It's not about pushing everything away. It's about holding life gently, loving without owning, caring without clinging, being fully here but not trapped by what happens here. And every day you'll be offered a choice. Hold on or release. Fight or flow. Close or open. And every time you choose release even a little, you become lighter. Not because life changed, but because you stopped carrying what wasn't yours. Some days it will feel easy. Some days it will feel like your entire identity is unraveling. Both are part of the path. Both are welcome because the point is not perfection, it's presence. When letting go becomes your nature, you don't fear change anymore. You don't fear endings. You don't need everything to go your way to feel peace, because you're no longer outsourcing peace to the outside. You're rooted in something deeper, in stillness, in trust, in the unshakable knowing that whatever comes, you can meet it not by grabbing, but by allowing. So now, you see, freedom isn't something you chase out there. It's not in the next breakthrough. It's not in getting the perfect outcome. It's in the quiet release of what was never truly yours to carry. Letting go is not about becoming less. It's about discovering how much space lives inside you when you're not weighed down, not by stories, not by fear, not by the false self you've been trying to protect. This isn't about escaping life. It's about showing up more fully without the armor, without the performance, letting life move as it moves, without needing to grip, control, or understand every twist. Because what's real doesn't leave, what's true doesn't need to be chased, and who you are has never been lost, only covered. Now you're remembering, now you're releasing, not once, but as a way of being, and in that soft surrender, you step into the deepest kind of strength, the kind that doesn't resist, the kind that trusts, the kind that knows, I don't have to hold it all. I just have to let go.